Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be looking at some tips for Star Trucker, things that just would have really helped me out starting out. I got about 13, 14 hours in the game so far, and it's pretty fun, but I have learned quite a lot, and I figured I'd share some info I've learned the hard way, so y'all do not have to learn it the hard way, I guess. So first off is gonna be the fact there's no way to charge batteries. This is I looked for when I first started because I mean there's they're batteries, they should be able to charge. But as I have come to find out, there's just no way to do it. You come in here, you can buy new batteries, of course, you can sell old batteries for way less than what you bought them for. But unfortunately, there's no stations, no nothing that lets you recharge batteries. So if you're holding on to batteries, empty batteries, thinking one day you'll be able to recharge them, go and sell them, make some money, because they do not have any other use. All right, coming in at number two is the fact that you can actually use almost all of the controls up in the cockpit from standing. You don't have to go through the animation of sitting down every time you want to flip a channel or whatever. If you want to check your batteries or your air filters or unhitch, do anything like that. The one thing you cannot use though is the ham radio for some reason. But other than that, you can lower the shutters, do just about everything. All right, so for the next tip, we're going to be looking at this convoy screen right here. So as you can see, I kind of sped through these. It really doesn't matter what order you can do, especially like this Red Eddy, Sour Candy. They're strictly only in these first few sections here. They don't even go into the final section. So if you just want to speed through them, you can. I recommend you don't because I did, and now I'm $14,000 in debt, which not to worry, I can clear that up pretty easily. But you don't really get paid anything for the store missions. Like some of them you'll get like maybe 1,500, a couple thousand. You're not really gonna get more than that, at least from the middle two I found. So, focus on the story, it's all right, but if you're close to being in debt or you are in debt, do not worry about the story at all. Get out of debt because the story pays you nothing and it does cost money to keep your truck running. All right, so this next tip is going to bring us to the map screen. Now, whenever you get a job or you're doing the side missions, it always tell you a route that it thinks you should take, right? But these routes are not always the best. This route in green here. So say I had a job that was taking me from Alice Prime to Spark City, right? You mark Spark City and estimated total duration 7.5 hours, driving distance 17 miles. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's taking me through Medusa 6, Emerald Junction, all this stuff. But if you just mark, say, like something closer, like Three Kings and then Spark City, then it'll draw like a new route connecting the ones you've marked. And now look at that, cut it by 4 hours, driving distance way less. Whereas if I were to take that away, now it's taking me 17 miles. So always kind of just try to look if there could be a shorter route. There probably is, and save yourself some gas. All right, so for this next tip, there's gonna be a time in the story, or at least in the Red Eddy Sour Candy storyline, where it's gonna say emergency request. And when I saw that, I took that as, yo, you have to do this like now or soon, or else the opportunity's gonna go away, or something's gonna happen, right? The game will end. I don't know. But it said emergency request. I was like, wow, this is an emergency. I gotta get on this. That means absolutely nothing. That's why I'm so in debt, because it was an emergency request, so I thought I had to do it right then, right now. So I just, focused on that instead of focusing on trying to make money. And now I'm $14,000 in debt. So yeah, do not, if it says emergency request, you don't like have to do it. They'll be there, they're waiting, the job isn't gonna go away. So emergency request, what that really means is end of the game essentially because yeah, I'm pretty sure this meltdown mission was the one that said emergency request. You can see that's like kind of the beginning of the end uh, of this storyline. So yeah, emergency request does not mean time constraint. It does mean end of storyline though. All right. So for this next tip, it's actually gonna take us off on the road, off into space, I guess I should say. So basically, when you're driving from place to place, this might seem kind of like a simple tip, but I don't know. I've caused a lot of damage to my truck just, going straight from uh station to station, right? Like if I were to cut through here instead of taking the roads, because I thought it was quicker or whatever. It might be quicker, I don't know. But what I do know is there's a ton of asteroids in that section in that area, basically any area that doesn't have a big road. There's gonna be asteroids, there's gonna be space debris, you can see it all down there. You can play with fire if you want, and try and dodge all the debris in space, but I find it much, much easier and safer to just, take the roads. It's gonna be worth it, especially if you're hauling something. The only time I would ever not take the road is if like I know it's faster to get to like a what's it called, like a fuel station or something, right? And I need fuel right then. If it's on a dire circumstance, definitely just take the roads, save yourself the suit, energy, that's batteries you gotta get. So yeah, it's definitely use roads. And this next tip, we're actually gonna be talking into this job board. Yeah, I was curious about this until I checked it myself. The jobs don't change from station to station within the same system, right? So we're in Atlas Prime. There's like three different stations here. Every one of those stations, the job boards are going to show these exact same jobs, no matter like what, if you want new jobs, you go to a different star system, right? But, if I just look at all these, retired girders, one hop, two trailer delivery to Crossville, all that. I go and I unhitch. All right, so we're coming up on Harmony Link. There's where we came from, and I'm just gonna pull into the job board here just to show y'all that the jobs do in fact not change. So, if you're thinking, oh, you're passing through Atlas Prime or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, this job board doesn't really have what I'm looking for, doesn't have anything good on my route or whatever. Um, just, you're thinking about going to a new station, don't even bother. Don't waste the gas. There's no point. Just go ahead and get to the next station. That'll have some new jobs for you. So as you'll see, you know, two trailer delivery to Crossvale, retired girders one hop. They are in a different order because I think, maybe these, yeah, sort by nearest. So these containers are closer to this station than the other station. So that's probably why these are, showing up first. But it's the same exact payout, same exact stuff. It's just at a different part. Alright, so this next tip seems pretty simple, but it's something I took a while to learn, and that is simply just to use your brake, right? I mean, I spent so much time, trying to just, if I'm like making a turn like this up here, I would just like turn the truck and then just fucking gas it. Don't do that. You're gonna end up crashing into someone on the other side of the road, one of the guardrails, something. Just go ahead and brake. It's so much easier. And then once you brake, you can turn and then go in any other direction. It's so much easier. Um, Basically, just to not hit anything. If you think you might hit something, like you're coming up a little quick, just throw your brake. It's simple, but I don't know. If you're like me, you're gonna, sometimes forget it's there. Now, for the next tip, it's real simple. I'm not gonna, give an example because it will cause me to go into even more debt, and I don't need all that. But it's something that I have personally tried and lost a lot of money when I did try it. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, you cannot haul multiple trailers from different jobs. All right, even if you have, trailer permission, where it's, you get plus two trailer link, right? Because I was looking, like whenever I would haul a trailer, it would only show, the one trailer on the screen, but there's like two other open slots. So I was like, okay, I can haul like three at a time, right? But that's only if it's all for the same job, right? All right, so say heading down to Crossvale, right? Um, Now this is probably not a good way to go, but maybe I want to go through Purity, then down to Crossvale, right? So I go here, I get this two trailer to Crossvale, and then I get this to Purity. I cannot, hitch this Purity trailer up and then go and hitch the back of this trailer to the front of one of these. It's just not gonna work. If you don't believe me, you can try it, but I'm telling you, from personal experience, it doesn't work. You're gonna end up, I mean, you can, if I accept this contract and scroll down, you can see I'd have to pay $7,000 or however much it is for, this Purity one. Either way, this money you just don't need to be wasting when you just, don't accept multiple jobs at one time if you are planning on hitching the trailers at the same time. Now, of course, if I'm going to, Crossvale and there's a drop off in like Purity, and then I pick up like another container from Purity or from Emerald Junction, and then, take that down to Crossvale, that will work if I accept the jobs at the same time. You can't accept multiple jobs at the same time. Just make sure you won't have to hitch the trailers at the same time. All right, and for this final tip, this is the best way I found to make money, and it's gonna be the long distance jobs. They make the most money from what I can tell. The gas, like obviously you're gonna spend more gas, but a lot of the driving is just through the warps, right? Like not a ton. I'm going all the way basically across the map, driving distance like 26 miles. Like that's really nothing. So definitely, definitely go and try to get the long just distance jobs first. The just in time jobs, they do pay, but then like, if you get there early, you're just kind of sitting there waiting because mini tip, time does move like like the same in real life as it does now. Like if you look at this clock here, this clock moves like with real time. It's gonna take an entire full 60 seconds to go to 1650 from here. Um, so if you arrive 30 minutes early, you got nothing to do for basically 30 minutes because, if you were to, if I were to just jump to Purity real quick, I mean, it's like a 2 hour jump, or like, yeah, even, yeah, like 2 hours. And then, going back, now I'm late, so I don't know, this is kind of annoying. That only happened to me like once, but it's enough to just be like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'll take them if the money's good, but what I found is the money's usually better on the long distance jobs. And I mean, we can see that just right here, right now, right? Here's a long distance job going down to Crossvale. It's like almost 4 grand. Crossvale's like, if I were to go to Crossvale, this can be like 32 miles of driving. Yeah, it's like a little bit. That's like, I think maybe like $500 worth of gas, right? Depending on where you get it. Whereas, some short, like, Purity, yeah, I'm not gonna spend that much gas, but it's only like, I mean, it's not even $1,000. It's just really not worth it, in my opinion, when the long distance just give you so much more money. And like, here's a pretty decent payout for this just in time job. But the problem with this one is it actually doesn't start where I'm at. I'm in Atlas Prime. This wants me to go to a whole other star system and then back to Atlas Prime. I mean, sure I could, but I feel like I'm just gonna get more bang for my buck just, doing something like this. So long distance jobs are really just, I mean, they're the money makers for sure. Definitely, this, especially if you're starting out, I would, uh, I would kind of prioritize getting those first before, before the just-in-time jobs, mainly because they're easier and I mean, they do just give you a flat more money. All right, I got a couple bonus tips for y'all that I actually just remembered. One of them is probably the most important. Read the user manual. You don't have to read every single entry, obviously, but if you're curious about something, do give it a look for sure. I mean, a lot of the things I have learned have simply just been from here, and I completely forgot it existed. Like they show you in the tutorial, and right after they were like, "Hey, look, here's the glove compartment with the manual," I closed it, looked up, and it left my brain after that. I did not even remember it was there. So definitely remember it's there and use it because it does have a lot of good tips and also just showing you what things do. Like these flips up here, these switches. I had no clue, right thruster choke. I don't know what that means. The manual tells you, so definitely look at the manual if you're ever confused about anything. And this final bonus tip is just gonna be something you might have noticed with just how my truck looks and how it's quite decrepit. And you can check. I mean, the whole integrity is critical. As far as I'm aware, this means nothing. This doesn't matter. I played basically this entire game this far looking like this because it's like $3,000 to fix it, and I don't have that kind of money. So yeah, it really doesn't matter. Obviously you're gonna have to go out and patch it up if you hit something, but you're gonna have to do that regardless, right? Like even at full capacity, full hole integrity, you're still going to have to go out if you hit something and patch up the holes. From what I can tell, there's really no effect that the overall hole integrity has on this. If you hit something light, something small, you're really only gonna have, one leak. If you hit something bigger, you're gonna have multiple. Either way, the whole status does not change the number of, leaks you gotta repair anything. It really doesn't do anything. And my truck has never blown up at all, no matter like I've hit some pretty big things at pretty high speeds when the hole is critical. And it's like, hey, patch up these three holes. Easy. It takes me like 5 minutes, maybe not even that. Whole integrity really doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, it looks pretty bad. It looks terrible. I think my truck looks a lot better when this hole is at full capacity. But if you don't have the money for that, don't put the whole integrity high on the list. It's honestly probably the very bottom because as far as I'm aware, only affects the cosmetics of your truck and not at all how it runs or functions. All right, and that's about it. Those are just some tips I've learned so far through my trials and tribulations of, Star Trucker, and just things that definitely would have saved me a lot of money. I would not be this much in debt had I have known some of these tips. So yeah, I hope you learned some, and hope everyone has a good day.